Alright, here's part 3. Sorry for doing this in so many parts. The Constructor Brush works pretty good. The only things I would recommend, the issues I've had is right here at the tip of my fingernail. I get water spraying out. The only thing I've been able to do to fix that is that I had to Velcro this hose down so that the jet points up above the brush. If I let the hose come up to where it's on top or any other position, the jet sprays into the brushes, and it tends to make the other brush, these two nozzles, do the same thing. So when I Velcro this down, this leak seems to stop. The other, I might be able to fix that if I use some different hose here. This is some really super tough urethane hose that I guess sourced locally here. This is the nice thing I like about this gooseneck. It has a piece of metal inside to make this more durable. It's the side to side. I found that it's not very useful for when you're working high, which I don't think that's its intended purpose in the first place. But when you get down to just below the second story, and that might work out okay on residential, but when you get down to about the second floor, the side to side starts to be useful, but it doesn't really become that useful until you're down to working on the first floor. The other thing I found is when you adjust this, tighten this up, because this has a tendency to eventually work its way loose, and it happened to me once or twice. The other thing I could recommend, and I hope you see this, Perry, is right here on this sleeve. This does wobble some, so when you're working at 83 feet, it's not too bad, but you can feel the pull kind of roll in your hand just a little bit. But once you get used to it, you don't really notice it a whole lot. This sleeve here, if you turn it too hard, it will pop out, and you have to twist it back into place. I'm not sure if that is going to make it less reliable, or over time it's going to wear out. The other thing I can suggest of stopping this wobbling is right down here. If I put a little extra material on this plate that screws to the mop head, or the brush head, if you had put a little more material in here, I think that would stop all this wiggling back and forth, and it would make it a lot more stable. All in all, though, I really like this side to side. It's actually the first one of these type of goosenecks that I've actually liked. All the other European design ones that have threads on them that screw on the brush, I never use them because one thing or another, I always have some kind of complaint. I've always used the Gardner carbon fiber goosenecks. They seem to work pretty good. They're light and they're strong, and I don't have to worry about something coming loose or getting out of adjustment. The other thing is, you notice these bristles. This is after I've used it. See how they are just kind of going all over the place. If you look closely, these two bristles between this first row and the second row, they get kind of intermixed and tangled together. So what I've found worked is right down this row here, right down here. If you run the tip of a screwdriver down there at an angle, just run it down to the angle, it untangles the bristles and points them all back up again. But I'm kind of concerned that these are flaring out and flailing all about so quick after only one building. I'm not so sure about the durability. I haven't received the boar's hair bristles yet, and I understand from Alex at WCR that there's some new end caps coming. They've got a new design of the bumpers that's supposed to be coming out. I didn't really see anything wrong with these, except that one thing I did see, that when you're using this, you notice this is all this angle, then this is at a little bit of an angle here. This kind of is a hindrance for getting into the corners. If these bristles went straight across, I could get into the corners better. I have to actually, when I get in the corner of a frame, give a little bit of a twist on the pole to put more pressure to get in the corner better. I only used the top rinse bar. I didn't use the middle rinse bar at all this time around. This brush is set up as it was when they sent it to me, so it's the stock setup. I would think that these are exactly what Perry mentioned. They're good for the seagull and bird poop and things like that, but for maintenance clean, I would replace these with another set of these bristles. I think the extra scrubbing power that you'd get from these bristles would benefit greatly. In my next project, I have some buildings, the arena building downtown Columbus here to take care of. There's a hockey arena, and there's a bunch of buildings, 3- and 4-story and 5-story buildings down there that I have, and I will switch this bristle pack out, or this bristle row out, for another one of these, and I will see how that works on those buildings. But all in all, I would say that this is a great brush. I love it. I might go ahead and get the next size up. That's a 16-inch. I might be going and getting the next size up, which I think is a 20-inch. I'm really happy with them. Like I said before on the previous video, it is heavier than the other brushes that are on the market, so you do have to be aware of that. It will put more strain on your shoulders and your arms when you're working at high lengths or high altitudes, when you're working on the very tall buildings. But I think if the pole was a little bit stiffer, and not necessarily so much heavier, but you could sacrifice a little bit on the weight for stiffness, but I wouldn't want to make a pole too much heavier, especially if you're going to be cleaning, like on the building I showed you, where I had approximately 3,000 plus pieces of glass that I did over the course of 4 8-hour days. So if you hope this helps you out, and if you have any questions, please comment on this video. The other ones I do not have comments open on, but you can leave your questions here, and I am very busy, but I will try to get back and answer any questions that you have. And that's it. Thank you.